Be ready. 10 seconds to go. Start. The alleged breaches are in fact not made out from the record. The documents discussed herein above would show that the use of the basement for putting off printing machinery was permitted by the DDA. The FAR of 360 was duly sanctioned by the ministry, which was communicated to the DDA as also to express newspapers. The construction in the additional space was carried out after the diversion in the sewer line. The construction was also carried out after obtaining sanction from the MCD, which was well within the knowledge of LNDO and the ministry. The use of the said premises for commercial purpose was duly authorized, as were other buildings in the vicinity. The same was permitted subject to payment of conversion charges. Wide the supplemental lease, the prohibition was from carrying out any manufacturing trade which would, in the opinion of the Chief Commissioner of Delhi, be considered as noisy, noxious, or offensive. The surplus accommodation was permitted to be let out for general office use, commercial or otherwise, excluding commercial ventures like hotel, cinemas, restaurant, etc. Thus, it cannot be argued that there was any misuse and that the premises could only be used for newspaper purpose. Clearly, the stand of the ministry and the LNDO in the impugned notices of termination preceding the termination and the termination letter is in the face of the admitted documents and the documentary evidence. Moreover, a very disturbing feature in these suits is also that all the issues which were considered and decided in the judgment of the Supreme Court in express newspapers are again being reiterated and raised in the impugned notices. A perusal of the show cause notice which was quashed would show that the said notice was also based upon similar grounds raised by the Union of India. Press release letters of the LNDO, all of which led to the appointment of the three-member committee by the then Lieutenant Governor, was frowned upon by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court judgment has dealt with each of the alleged violations in the impugned notices. A perusal of the judgment of the Supreme Court shows that it is exactly these very issues which are discussed by the Supreme Court, and the final directions were issued to the Union of India only to realize conversion charges. Post the decision of the Supreme Court, there were only two courses of action for the Union of India, that is, to raise a demand for the conversion charges and for the additional ground rent along with any reasonable interest, and upon failure to pay the same to file a suit. In fact, from a reading of the order of the Supreme Court, only the latter could have been resorted to, that is, filing of the suit by the Union of India. According to Express newspapers, it had deposited some conversion charges in 1982 and if anything more is to be paid, a demand could have been raised. In paragraph 196, the Supreme Court clearly holds that there are no breaches under clause 2, 5, and 14 of the lease deed and that the construction on the western side of plots 9 and 10 with an increased FAR of 360 with a double basement was with the permission of the Union of India. The two issues whether the construction in the suit property by express newspapers is valid and binding and whether it was used for a permissible purpose are decided by the Supreme Court in paragraph 85 of the judgment as the Express Newspapers Private Limited having acted upon the grant of permission by the lessor, that is the Union of India. Ministry of Works and Housing to construct the new express building with an increased FAR of 360 together with a double basement was clearly not an unauthorized occupant within the meaning of section 2G of the Act. In the light of such categorical findings, raising these very issues in a fresh notice and thereafter issuing notices of termination and seeking to re enter is clearly in the face of the judgment of the Supreme Court. The MCD was clearly given a mandatory direction by the Supreme Court to compound the construction of the double basement beyond the plinth limited and the underground passage. Thus, the allegation that there is unauthorized construction contrary to the building plans of MCD is also not liable to be entertained. The notices followed by the letters are therefore lacking any basis on facts as also in law. In fact, the Supreme Court concludes that the notice was not issued bona fide. The relevant observations of the Supreme Court states in the facts and circumstances I am constrained to held that the impugned notices were not issued bona fide in the ordinary course of official business for implementation of the law or for securing justice, but were actuated with an ulterior and extraneous purpose. Stop.